Hello everybody and welcome back to uh, your project and the next step we're going to take. In the previous steps we georeferenced an aerial photograph, that's this black and white image here, in reference to an already georeferenced map of the larger area. But we don't need the larger area anymore, we just needed that for the georeferencing. So we'll go ahead and take that away and we'll zoom into the layer that we will be using. This is the aerial photograph from 1955. But as you know, as you see, it includes a lot of areas that we don't want to use. Yeah, so we have the dune, but we have the dune area, but we're only for one group. They're only looking at, let's see, this area. Another group is looking at this area. Plus all these extra places, the top and the bottom, nobody is interested in that in our analysis because our analysis is just in one area of the dunes. So how do you do that? That's the question we'll be answering in this video. We want to select just a certain area. Now, normally, you probably already know this, we use the clip tool. But using the clip tool is actually, there are two different things. First, clip is normally just for a polygon from a polygon. And secondly, we don't have the layer that we're going to be using to clip. So we have to create that. So it's a couple of things that may be different from previous clipping that you've done in earlier courses. So step one, we need to create the area of study. So I'm going to zoom into one group which is looking at area 3, and of course if you're in area 1 or 2 you will do it for slightly differently. And even for the group group 3, I'm going to do it very quickly. You should definitely take your time. I'm doing it just for demonstration purposes. So how do you create a polygon? It's actually much more simple than you can maybe imagine. You just go to our catalog, and by clicking that button, our catalog, and it pops up. Here is the folder that we're working in. I'm working in, and I want to make a new shapefile. And let's call this shapefile area of study 1955. We want to make a polygon, so go ahead and hit polygon. There is no coordinate system that we've selected, but it's not necessary because we're going to actually use the aerial photograph as a background. We're going to trace over the aerial photograph. Just click OK and OK again. OK. We're done now with ARC catalogs. Go ahead and close ARC catalog because we need to have a good working area space. And we also need to open the editor toolbar. So customize toolbars, editor. Now the editor toolbar, as you see, everything's grayed out. We can't actually do anything yet. So we start a session by very simply clicking on editor, start editing, yeah, and we select area of study 1955. That's the empty shapefile that we just created. So now a few things have shown up. Yeah, it's empty though, it doesn't have any features. So we need to go to create features, and here the create features window pops up. We can use a couple of different tools. A rectangle, the polygon, you can trace around to make, actually I definitely think you should use the polygon tool. You can get much more accurate results, but just for going very quickly, I'm going to use the freehand. So take your time, much more than I'm about to do. But let's say the area of study that you want is about like this. You just do freehand, and look, we created our area of study polygon. We've actually finished. It can't be that easy. Again, take more time than I have done just now. Oops, we're done. We'll close now this and this. We're done right now editing. Oh, pretty quickly, didn't it? And we need to use this now, this polygon, which is in the area of study, to clip the 1955 aerial photograph. Now, normally, I would say go to geoprocessing and clip. But again, that's only polygon to polygon, and we're going polygon to raster. It's slightly different. So you probably guessed here on the left-hand side, I have it already open. So you go to Arc Toolbox. If it's not already open Arc Toolbox, click on this button here. That'll open this dialog box. Go to Data Management Tools, Raster, Raster Processing, and then Clip. Now, so for the input raster, we want to have the 1955 aerial photograph. It takes just a few seconds. There we go. And for the output extent, you want to have the area of study. Here, we're not quite finished. Normally, I'd go OK, click OK, and it'll do it. But if you do that, you won't get the exact polygon like I drew here very quickly. You'll actually get like a rectangle. It looks at the extent of X and Y, and it clips that. So to avoid a big rectangle, we click on Use Input Features, because there's only one feature. It makes it easy. And then OK. The clipping geometry, oh, that went faster than I expected. Normally it takes maybe a couple of seconds to a minute. This took 1.82 seconds. Close that. And if we take that away, you now see we have the data just from the field, the area of study from 1955. I always like to then change the names so that we know exactly what we're looking at. We can call that clipped area of study 1955. Now we've actually done quite a bit of work. In this just a few minutes. I'll zoom to the layer. We have now the area of study that we want, and we can do a few things. We can look at the attribute table, but it's all very scaled. I first like to work on the symbology. The symbology of a normal TIFF is it's nuanced. It looks at every single pixel. It gives it its own value. I prefer to, and I highly recommend you should do this, to go to classified. In our project, we have 3 classifications. We have sand, grass, and forests. So we're going to do 3 classifies. It randomly selects the values 76, 162, and 255. For your work, you'll want to not do this randomly. You'll classify it some other way. You do that by clicking Classify. If you classify, you can actually move this as much as you want. Yeah, you can say the low values, those are black, so it's forest. You may say, oh well, the forests end here, and the grass is up to here. This is the work that you're going to have to do to figure out which value is sand, which value is grass, and which value is forest. So I'll just cancel this and use the random values that the ArcGIS created for me. Click OK. Now you see there are only 3 colors. So you have white, which is if you want to check that value. You can still check the individual values. White has a value of 227. And the other one, black, has 31. So the low ones are black, so they're forests, and the gray ones are grass, and the white is sand. We're actually finished for this step. Again, like I mentioned, I did it very quickly. You need to take your time first in closely looking at what is your area of study. I just drew it very quickly. You want to spend much more time on that. And secondly, you're going to want to inspect much better than I did which values will be classified as sand, which values will be classified as forest, which values will be classified as grass. Okay, that's the end of this video. In the next video, we're going to export our data and analyze the amount of land that has these three different coverage values. Have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.